Hello, welcome back to Mancinima. The sun's out now, isn't it? So I hope you've all managed to get out and see some sunshine, but I also hope that you've all managed to get into the cinema and see a couple of films. We'll be reviewing a film this week, which I'll reveal in a moment, but if we can just go through the old routine, the thing I talk about at the beginning of every one of these videos. Please like this video. Please share it amongst your friends on Facebook and other social media. It just brings awareness to the channel and it helps me. It encourages basically me to do some more of these videos and it makes me want to do some more to get them out to you. As long as I know that people are watching. If I'm just talking to myself out into an empty field, then it's a bit of a waste of time. But yeah, if you could share these about and like the videos, that really does help. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you are already a subscriber to the channel, please do not touch that subscribe button because it will unsubscribe you and it messes everything up. So only if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell and you'll know when I've done another one of these videos. So let's get on the road literally with today's film review, and that is the movie Fast X. And so on to Fast X, the 10th entry in the Fast and Furious franchise. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? It's like a bit of a tongue twister, that. So yeah, it's the 10th entry and it begins very calmly. You've got the family gathered together. Dom is teaching his young son, little Brian, how to drive a car. I think he's only about 7 or 8 years old, but he's learning how to drive a car in this film. The family are gathered at this nice meal and Roman is pitching his attempts to become the leader of the group, or become a leader of the group, and he wants to prove himself. So when a mission comes in from the agency, do you remember the agency that was run by Mr. Nobody, played by Kurt Russell back in the previous films? So a mission comes in and he's lured away to go and do this mission, and he takes along with him Tej, played by Ludacris, and Ramsey, played by Natalie Emmanuel. So they're led away, and we soon discover that them being led away is a decoy so that somebody can get to Dom and his family. And it's not long before Dom and his family are targeted and everybody's splintered off. So that's what this person wants to do. They want to get in and break the family up. Now this person in particular is Dante, and he is played by Aquaman's Jason Momoa. And he is connected to the movie Fast 5. At the end of Fast 5, you'll probably remember there was this big bank heist. Paul Walker's Brian and Dom, played by Vin Diesel as always, managed to steal this big bank vault, and they drove it all along the motorway, smashing it along a bridge. And at the end of that sequence, you had a character, I'll just check his name, he was Herman Reigns, and he was killed during the stealing of that bank vault. And we find out that this character that is after Dom and his family now is after revenge. And of course, as I've mentioned previously, that character is Dante, played by Jason Momoa. So that is the setup for the film, basically. And that's the plot. So he basically wants revenge, and he decides to take out all of Dom's family one by one as revenge for the killing of his father and for the stealing of their family's money. I think if you're a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise, you can agree that Fast 9 was not the best. Bit of a dull storyline, a lot of the fun was lost, very, very silly moment where the car went up into outer space and people had actually thought they'd reached the end of the road. So when they announced there was going to be a Fast X, it was a little bit of a surprise really, because you think, well, where are they going to go from here? Are they going to go back in time or something like that? So yeah, they were stretching the bounds of credibility, and Fast 9 was not really a great movie. So this is why I'm delighted to say that Fast X brings things right back on track. It's fun, it's over the top, it's silly, spectacular stunts. You've got an actual race in this film, which brings you right back to the original Fast and Furious movies, which was what it was all about, was street racing. You've got a street race in this movie, so it's back in there rather than, I'll say rather than the heist. There's still heist and that kind of thing going on, espionage and all that business. But you've got a street race in there, so it nods back to where its roots are, which I thought was rather good. And of course, a lot of the fun in this movie has got to be accredited to Jason Momoa's Dante. He really comes in and chews the scene. You know, he's a menacing villain. Some of the things he's doing really have you on the edge of your seat and kind of sweaty palms time, kind of wondering what's going to happen next. But he is a lot of fun in this movie. He really chews the scenery. He really kind of gets involved. He's a little bit camp. He's a little bit over the top. I actually thought he played the character somewhere as a cross between Heath Ledger's Joker, remember from The Dark Knight, and also Johnny Depp's Captain Jack Sparrow. So if you look at him like that, that's the way he kind of plays the character. Like I said, he's a little bit camp, a little bit fun, but when he needs to be, he can be really menacing. And I thought he brought a great deal to this movie. So there are some amazing, spectacular sequences in this movie. Of course, you know, every Fast and Furious movie tries to up their game. And in this one, you've got Dom, Letty, Roman and his gang all going to Rome. Of course, Roman's been led there on this fake mission, and when they get there, they find that they're transporting this giant bomb, which Dante intends to blow up Italy with. They take it on a van, and eventually the bomb breaks free from the van, and it's rolling downwards, down through the hills of Italy towards the Vatican. Of course, that's where the biggest threat is. If they blow the Vatican up, that'll be a worldwide, disaster. So it's up to Dom and his gang to try to move this bomb away from the Vatican and try to find a way to safely either defuse it or let it blow up where it's not going to harm anybody. So there's a lot of action in that. There's a lot of cars slamming into it. You think this bomb's going to go off any minute. Any knock or anything is going to set it off, but it doesn't. It just carries on rolling down the streets towards pedestrians and things like that. So there's a lot of tension and a lot of action in that sequence. Dante is doing his best. He's there as well, so he's doing his best to kind of thwart our heroes, to try to knock them off course so that he gets his big explosion moment. And yeah, it's a really, really good action sequence, really worth seeing. It's a step up from the previous Fast movies. It actually did remind me a little bit of having this big thing rolling through the streets of back to Fast 5 when they were stealing that bank vault and dragging that through the streets. So yeah, that's a sequence to look out for. That's one of the better ones in the movie. I think the problem as the Fast franchise goes on is kind of like a Rolling Stone. It tends to gather cast members. You find that the villain who's in one of the previous movies, say like Jason Statham in one of the movies, or Charlize Theron's Cypher, they get added to the family, so it just becomes this bigger ball, if you like, similar to the bomb that's rolling down the hill, that's gathering all these new cast members. So every time you come back with a Fast movie, obviously people want to see some of those cast members, and you've got to spread the load out. And that's kind of where this film, it doesn't fail, but it just feels a little bit weak really, where you've got to really give each of these characters their own screen time. You've got Roman and his gang having a mission, you've got Dom doing his thing, Letty doing her thing with Cypher, you've got John Cena looking after Little B, so he's got his own side story as well. So you've got all of these little side stories that come together as a whole, and somewhere down the line it does kind of feel a little bit patchy, where you kind of go over here, look at this character, go over there, look at that character, and they all take place at all these different locations around the world as well. You've got Rio and London and of course Rome, so everything's a little bit spread out. So yeah, my only complaint, if you like, is that it feels a little bit patchy, and it doesn't feel as whole as a movie as it could be if the gang were all together in one place. But it's still fun, you still got to sit there and enjoy the ride, and I really did enjoy this Fast and Furious movie. I thought it was one of the better ones. Of course, as I mentioned, Jason Momoa is one of the key moments to enjoy in this movie. And where you do have to spread the load with all the other characters, there's moments where his character is off the screen. So, although the other characters aren't boring, they're all very interesting, they've all got a great tale this time around, you do kind of think, oh, when's he coming back? When's old Dante coming back to cause some more chaos? And when he does come back, it's a real highlight to the film. The movie, in this instance, does end on a cliffhanger. I'm not going to tell you what it is, I don't want to spoil anything for you, because I do think you should go and see this one at the cinema. It's actually a lot of fun. If you want a fun night out at the movies, I really do recommend that you go and see Fast X. It's one of the movies that you don't want to think too much about, you just want to go in, sit down in your seat, relax, let the movie wash over you, and just enjoy what's being shown to you. It's harmless, it's great fun, there's some great humour, some great performances in it. Like I said, it's one of my favourites of the Fast franchise, and I'm looking forward to what they're going to do next. Fast, I'm not sure what they're going to call it. I don't know if they're going to call it Fast X Part 2, or whether it's going to be Fast 11, or how they're going to do this. But yeah, there's definitely a Part 2 coming. The movie does end on a cliffhanger. That's not going to spoil things for you, I'm not going to tell you what happens in that cliffhanger. But there is another movie definitely coming, and at the recent premiere of Fast X in Rome, Vin Diesel hinted that the studio wants a Part 3 as well, so this could end up being like a Fast X trilogy. When those two movies are coming, nothing has been mentioned just yet. I don't know if we're going to get the next one next year, or whether we're going to get it in a couple of years' time so they can spread it out a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, I'd recommend that you go and see Fast X at the cinema. I thought it was a really good, fun film. There's some great characters in it, like I say, some great set pieces, some of the best that you've seen on film. And it really does, it made me feel good because it lifted my spirits after seeing Fast 9. I was a big fan of the Fast franchise. I've been there since the very beginning. Sat there and watched the original film in a big cinema in Florida, and they had the sound system up so loud it was kind of rocking the seats, and you felt like you were in the cars with the cast. So I've stuck with the Fast franchise all the way through, and I've enjoyed it for the most part, even though they switch characters in and out. Characters die, then they come back, and all that business. So yeah, it's been a fun ride, and I'm looking forward to the next one or two entries, depending on which way they decide to go. So yes, go and see Fast X at the cinema. If you just want a fun time at the cinema, if you just need one of those movies where you can sit down, relax, let the silliness wash over you, let some fantastic set pieces, some fantastic performances, and some great fun wash over you, I do recommend that you go and see Fast X at the cinema. It's, you know, you'll enjoy it. Go and see it on the biggest screen possible, the biggest, loudest screen possible, and you'll have a lot of fun. So out of 10, I would go Fast X, Fast 10. I'm getting all my 10s mixed up now. Fast X, I would give 8 out of 10 because I enjoyed it that much. It's one of my favourites of the year so far. Like I say, it's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's a fun movie, you know. So, and if I enjoy going to the cinema, that's what it's all about. It's to go to the cinema and have a great time. That's exactly what Fast X does. So for me, 8 out of 10, and I do recommend that you go and see it at the cinema. Right, thank you for that. What we have got coming up next, possibly, depends if I can get to see it, because I have got a bit of a busy weekend on this weekend. But hopefully, the next film that I'll review for you will be the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, which is coming out this Friday. Fast X is at the cinema right now, by the way, if you want to go and see that. What have we got after that? Oh, Across the Spider-Verse. We've got Across the Spider-Verse coming out, so that'll be pretty soon as well. So, okay, so that's the 2 movies that we've got coming up. I will try to review those for you as soon as I get to see them. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. You know the usual routine. Please do give this video the thumbs up. You know, it doesn't hurt, it doesn't cost you anything. Find the little thumb, click on that. That really does help me out. It just basically encourages me to do more of these reviews. It does take up a lot of my time during my day. I've got other things I need to be doing, and I need to be doing, actually I need to be getting out and making a movie of my own. I've got a few movies of my own that I need to get made. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this review video, please click on the thumbs up button, because it helps me, it encourages me to want to do more of these things. Whereas if I feel like I'm wasting my time, then I may as well just kind of pack it up and concentrate on writing my new movies and things like that. Also, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Like I said before, don't subscribe if you are already a subscriber, because that unsubscribes you, if that makes any sense. Please share this video if you've got Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, stuff like that. If you know people that enjoy movie reviews or enjoy some of my other videos about the dinosaurs and the collecting and all that business, please share those videos out. It really does help me out. And please come and have a chat with me down in the comments if you've liked the Fast franchise, if you're a fan, if you've got a ranking. Let me know what your ranking is. I'd be interested to know how you fit each one in. Whether you think the first one's fantastic. I know a lot of people don't like Tokyo Drift because it doesn't star really any of the main cast. So let me know how those movies fit in for you. Whether you've enjoyed Fast X, and I hope you do, because I thought it was a fun film. So yeah, thank you once again. I will see you all very soon, and until then, take care and have a great week.